With over 2,000 different skins and over 1,500 different pickaxes now in Fortnite, it can be really hard to find the best items to use, but today guys, we're looking at 42 Fortnite items only Sweats use. These are going to be some of the best items you guys have ever seen, some of the most tried items as well, and of course some of the newest items in the game, so make sure you guys watch this entire video. Let me know what your favorite item is in the comments down below. Let's get straight into it though, and we're starting off with the Handheld Missile. This has been such a good pickaxe from this season's Battle Pass. Usually a lot of the Battle Pass pickaxes do die down quite quickly, but I feel like the Handheld Missile could actually stay popular for this season and into next season as well. I'm really excited to see what we do get in the future of Fortnite. Usually the Battle Pass pickaxes drop off so quickly, but if next season's Battle Pass doesn't really have too many exciting pickaxes, then I feel like the Handheld Missile could definitely stay tryhard next season as well. We need to move on, guys, and next up we have Gwenpool. This is also part of this season's Battle Pass. It is one of the best Battle Pass skins we have this season, but it is also unlocked at Tier 1, and usually the Tier 1 skins do end up becoming quite popular and tryhard. Obviously, this is really only popular for this season as well. It is very similar to the pickaxes, especially in a Battle Pass, but I feel like what separates Gwenpool away from a lot of the other skins we have this season is that this has already been extremely popular, used by a lot of different pros and streamers, and has so much potential moving forward. We do also have a few different variants of this. We obviously have the default style of this. You can also use an anime style if you do want to use that variant instead, but it is well known that the anime skins are never really as popular as the default skins that we do have. If you do just want a regular item shop item though, then I feel like the Force Lance might be the best way to go. This is actually part of the Star Wars collab that we do have in Fortnite. There are so many different Star Wars items now in the game, but what is really cool about the Force Lance is that this is sort of like a lightsaber pickaxe, and we have been waiting so long for these to be added to the game. But this is actually one of the swords that the droids use in Revenge of the Sith, which is one of the more popular Star Wars movies, so I feel like a lot of people are going to love the Force Lance just because of this. It looks more and more unlikely that we're ever going to get lightsaber pickaxes added to the game, but hopefully we do, because these are just so incredible. The Force Lance though is definitely worth buying. This does reappear in the store with the Moff Gideon skin, which has been one of the best skins in the game from the Star Wars franchise. But let's move on to an even better collab skin, and this is 11. 11 is without a doubt one of the best collab skins we've ever seen, and one of the most tryhard ones as well. This was actually part of the Stranger Things collab that we have had a few times in Fortnite. We had one wave during Chapter 1 that introduced the Demogorgon and Chief Hopper to the game, and then we got a second edition of this collab a few seasons later, and this introduced 11 to the store. We do see a lot of pros using the 11 skin. I really like both edit styles that we have of this. We obviously have a default clothed variant of 11, and then we do also have another variant that is sort of like the test lab edit styles, which has probably been the more tryhard one. One pickaxe that is going to fit in with all of these though has to be the Love Lawn. This was sort of like an unofficial Axe of Champions before the Axe of Champions was introduced to the item shop. I think the Love Lawn was such a good pickaxe. It was so well done. The design of this is really incredible, and it does remind a lot of people of the Axe of Champions 2.0. This was a limited edition pickaxe, so you could really only get it in a bundle, and it did set you back around $5, so we don't know when or even if this is going to be added back to the store. It is going to work in with pretty much every single skin that you own though, and another skin that is going to fit in perfectly with this is the Surf Witch. This has definitely been one of the most tryhard skins we've seen in a really long time, and one of those skins that only tryhard players do end up using. You can actually pick this up for 1,200 V-Bucks. So far we do only have two different styles for this, which is probably the downside for it. I feel like this is definitely one of those skins that does need some updated edit styles, especially if it is going to stay more popular and tryhard this season. Another skin that is going to be very similar to this though has to be Focus. Focus is also another 1,200 V-Bucks skin. We do have two different styles for this as well, but both of them are pretty much identical. I mean, the color shading is slightly changed, but they are so similar, a lot of people just sort of consider this as one edit style. The popularity for Focus has definitely dropped off over the last few seasons. I still feel like it is one of the best skins we've seen in a really long time though, and a skin that only tryhard players do end up using. A lot of controller players love this as well, but one pickaxe that we just had to mention in this video is going to be the TVA Time Stick. This is actually part of the Marvel collab collab, and since we are in a whole Marvel season of Fortnite, I just feel like it makes sense to include this pickaxe. This is actually part of the Loki collab. This didn't feature in any of the movies that Loki was in, but rather the Loki TV show, with the TVA playing a major part in that TV show. I feel like this pickaxe is so underrated today. It is definitely going to be perfect for all of the tryhard players that we do see, and will fit in with pretty much every single tryhard skin as well. Next up though guys, we need to talk about Kuno. This is actually pretty similar to the Surf Witch and Focus that we have already mentioned. You can pick this up for around 1,500 V-Bucks, so it is a little bit more expensive, and again, only has two different styles. I feel like we could see more and more styles of Kuno added to the game in the future. It looks like we will be getting some FNCS skins for Kuno this season, which is so exciting. I'm sort of surprised it has taken this long. We do also have Incinerated Kuno that you could always use instead, so that might even be a better option, but in my opinion, the Blizzard Buster Kuno is going to be the best style. This has dropped off quite a bit this season, and another skin that is very similar would have to be Caper. I mean, this has just been one of the most tried skins we've ever seen, but there are just way too many edit styles for this skin that people are now starting to use some of the other skins that we do have, just because there are way too many options for this. A lot of people thought this is almost going to be the next variant of the superhero skins with the amount of popularity that they had in the first few days, but now that they have been in Fortnite for a few seasons, there are just way too many ways that you can customize them that it almost makes it more difficult than you would actually think. If it was a little bit more simplistic with less customizations, it actually might have helped these skins out, but you can pick them up for 1,200 V-Bucks. One pickaxe that is even more expensive than this entire skin though has to be the Candy Axe. You can pick this up for 1,500 V-Bucks. This is so expensive for a pickaxe to the point where they don't even introduce pickaxes at this price anymore. I mean, it is kind of insane how expensive this is, but to be fair, it was one of the first ever pickaxes that we had in Fortnite that was reactive and animated. This actually glows the more eliminations you get, which was such a cool concept, especially since this was introduced back during Chapter 1, Season 1. Before we even had skins with edit styles, Fortnite were already working on animated pickaxes. I still think it is worth buying today just because this is so tryhard, but obviously it is a lot more expensive, and you could always end up buying something like the Polo Prodigy instead. The Polo Prodigy is one of the cooler collab skins that we have seen in Fortnite, and that is actually a collab with Ralph Lauren, which was probably one of the more unexpected ones. We have had a few clothing collabs in the past, but the Polo Prodigy was a remake of the Renegade Raider suited for the Ralph Lauren collab. No one really expected this to come to the game. It sort of got added towards the end of Chapter 2. It was so underrated when it first got added, no one was actually using them, but it took a few seasons for these to finally realize their potential, and now they are some of the coolest skins we have seen in a really long time, and some of the most popular ones we have in Chapter 5. I don't know how popular or tryhard these are going to be in the future. I do love the way these look a lot. I feel like we could have ended up with some more styles that would have made it a little bit better, but let's move on guys, and next up we have Zade. This is one of those skins that does have a lot of different edit styles, and the fact that you get this for 1,200 V-Bucks just makes it even better. I would love to see some more edit styles of Zade added to the game in the future. We did have a remade variant added with the Agency Renegades bundle, but I feel like they could even make some more in the future that would just improve this so much more. All the color styles do look pretty similar, but we're just gonna have to wait and see what does happen if they add more variants over the next few seasons. Let's move forward guys, and next up we have Hannah. This does set you back 1,500 V-Bucks, so it is slightly more expensive than Zade, but you do get 8 different edit styles for this. What is really cool about this is that all of the edit styles are also quite different. Basically, this just changes the glowing effect of this skin. You can also take the helmet on or off, but I feel like this skin is better with the helmet off. This hasn't really been that popular in Fortnite. We have seen a few pros like Mr. Savage using this in the past, but I feel like there is just so much potential with these, and these are also one of those skins that has never really been used by casual players. We've really only ever seen tryhard players using this, even in the casual game modes of Fortnite as well, which just makes it even better. One item that hardly anyone uses anymore though has to be the Rainbow Clover. This is without a doubt one of the best backblings we have ever seen in Fortnite, and a backbling that only tryhard players have been using. It is honestly really interesting how backblings used to be the one item that everyone wanted to use. They wanted to make sure that they always had the most tryhard backbling available, and now in Chapter 5 Season 4 it seems like it isn't even cool to use backblings anymore. The Rainbow Clover has to be without a doubt the best backbling we have in Fortnite though, at least over the last few seasons, just because you had to pay 1,500 V-Bucks for a skin that didn't even look that cool just to get this backbling. You probably won't see too many people using something like the Inferno Skeleton Bolvin though, especially with the Rainbow Clover. A lot of the male skins have never really been that tryhard or popular in Fortnite, but that is slowly changing during Chapter 5 Season 4. I feel like this has been one of the better male skins we have seen over the last few seasons. A lot of pros and streamers are using this as well. We obviously have Clicks and Mr. Savage that are using this a bunch. That is really helping this be more and more popular in Fortnite, but I still feel like the female skins are probably the ones that you want to use. One item that we don't really talk about too much though is the Dragacorn glider, and if you do want to own a tryhard glider, then this is the one that you need to buy. There isn't really too much more to say about this because it is a glider, but you guys definitely need to own this today. Let's move back to a pickaxe though, and next up guys is Yoda's Cane. We already talked about the Force Lance from the Star Wars franchise, but I honestly feel like this might be a little bit better. It is really simplistic, it obviously doesn't look like it is from the Star Wars franchise, but in my opinion that almost helps this. A lot of people do want to use items that just look like regular Fortnite items, and Yoda's Cane is definitely one of them, but this also is so small and simplistic that it's going to work in with every single item in your locker, so regardless if you are using a tryhard skin or a casual skin, this is going to suit it so well. You could always pair this with something like Emma Frost as well, which is one of the newer skins from this season's Battle Pass. If you guys are watching this once Chapter 5 Season 4 has ended, then Emma Frost probably won't be that tryhard anymore, but I really do like Emma Frost. I feel like it is one of the better Battle Pass skins we have this season, and the design of it is so good. I know a lot of people are saying the default style might be the best one, but in my opinion, I feel like the Diamond edit style is by far the coolest one of this skin. It is so sick, it is so different to everything we have seen in the past as well, and during the first few days of Chapter 5 Season 4, this was the tryhard edit style that everyone was using from this season's Battle Pass. I feel like that has now changed. People are trying out a bunch of different skins and using brand new tryhard skins from this season, but this was still really cool, and I feel like over the first few days, this really set it up for the success that it has still seen throughout this season. Even though it is a good Battle Pass skin, it'll never be as good as something like Lara Croft. I mean, Lara Croft is just in a league of its own. I feel like over the last few weeks and seasons though, it has started to drop off a little bit, but honestly that is probably fair enough because it has been in the game since Chapter 2 Season 6, and without a doubt the most tryhard Battle Pass skin in the history of the game. I mean, this has just been in the game for such a long time that I feel like it is time people start using some of the other edit styles that we have of this. A lot of people are using the default style still, which has been the most popular style pretty much since this was added to the game. So if you do want to keep using this and making sure you stand out as much as possible, then the fully golden edit style or even the green edit styles are probably the best way to do it. Let's move on guys, and next up we have the Icebreaker. This is only going to set you back 500 V-Bucks, so it is one of the cheapest items that we have in Fortnite. It is kind of crazy how cheap this actually is. I mean, we don't really have too many other items as cheap as this, so I feel like this is just one of those pickaxes that we had to feature in this video. It is going to work in with every single item you have in your locker, but obviously if you do want to use something a little bit more detailed, then Champion Sparkplug might be a better skin to own. I mean, this is also part of the FNCS community skins, which Fortnite have been adding to the game over the last few years. I feel like they do a really good job with these. Not all of the FNCS skins are going to do well. We have definitely had some in the past that never really got that popular, and they also changed how these skins worked. They used to be season exclusive skins, but now Fortnite seems to be adding them to the store all the time. Almost every single season we're going to be getting brand new ones of these, and I cannot wait to see what they do in the future. Let's move on guys to the number 20 position, and we have Widow's Bite. We have definitely talked about a lot of collab items in this video, but I feel like Widow's Bite is going to be one of the best ones. This pickaxe was first added back during Chapter 1 Season 8. I feel like what is so crazy about this is that this was also part of one of those limited exclusive Marvel collabs that never really reappeared in the store for a few years until Chapter 5 started. Then we finally got this added back and it became so popular almost overnight. I feel like people have actually forgotten that they do own this in the game. It is one of the best pickaxes that we have ever seen, and I cannot wait to see if this does increase in popularity in the future. I still feel like it is one of those pickaxes that only tryhard players do actually own though, and the other really cool thing about it is that this works in with so many different skins that you have, and one of them is going to be Padme. I really like Padme. I feel like it is one of those underrated skins that we just had to feature in this video. Even though it is part of the Star Wars collab, I still feel like it is quite tryhard, and definitely used by a lot of tryhard players in the more competitive game modes. I would have loved to see some more edit styles for this, or just added some brand new Star Wars collabs when they did add this, because we really only got 2 styles of Padme, and I feel like they could have added in a lot more detail for this. Next up though guys, we need to move on to Catwoman's grappling claw. I feel like this is definitely one of those collab pickaxes that has been so underrated in the past as well. I feel like a lot of these collab items sort of gain a lot of popularity very quickly, die off, and then sort of slowly become popular again, especially in the tryhard game modes, and that has definitely happened with Catwoman's grappling claw. I'm a big fan of this pickaxe though. I feel like it is one of the best DC pickaxes we have seen in a really long time. It is always going to be one of those items that stays popular into the future. It is sort of just a question of how tryhard this does become, but because this is one of the only pickaxes in Fortnite that is grey or black, I feel like there is so much potential for these, and it is going to work with almost every single skin in your locker, and that includes the Adidas skins. I mean, the Adidas skins are some of the most creative skins that we have in the game, so it can be really hard to find a pickaxe that is going to work in with every single one, but I actually really like them. I feel like these work in so well with the Catwoman's grappling claw pickaxe, and the Adidas skins have definitely been some of the more underrated ones this season. Again though, similar to what we talked about with Caper, there is just so much customization options with these that maybe that is what is holding these skins back, but it's definitely not holding back the Leviathan Axe. This is one of the most tryhard pickaxes we are ever going to see in Fortnite, and you can't pick this up for 1,000 V-Bucks. It hasn't been seen in the store since Chapter 2 Season 5 though, so it is definitely one of the rarest items that we still have in the game today. I feel like if this was added back, it would be almost insane how popular this pickaxe became. It would be one of the best items we have ever seen in Fortnite, but until that happens, I feel like it is just slowly dropping off in popularity to the point now where not that many people are using it. The same actually can be said as well for our next item, and this is Siren. Even though this is completely different to the Leviathan Axe, this is one of the most tryhard items we have ever seen in Fortnite, but this is almost tryhard because it is featured in the store once a week for like the last 4 years. Everyone that has wanted to buy this skin in the past has had so many different opportunities to buy it, and I'm sure a lot of you guys watching this right now already own this skin. They did add a brand new edit style at the start of Chapter 5, which definitely helped this become popular again, but I feel like people have been using this for so many years that people just want a change and want to use something different, and maybe that does also include the Power Pack backbling. We talked about the Rainbow Clover earlier as one of the best backblings that we have in the game, but honestly the Power Pack might be a little bit better. What is really cool about this is that this is also part of the Icon series collab, and this was part of Lachlan's skin. Now, not only is it really unexpected for backblings to still be popular in Chapter 5, but it's even more unexpected for this one to be popular because it is part of an Icon series collab. These items never really stayed that popular or tryhard for too long. I don't even know if any of the other Icon or YouTuber items have been tryhard in the past at all, but this has definitely been one of the best, and I cannot wait to see if this does stay more popular in the future. You could use this with almost any single skin in your locker as well, and one of the pickaxes that is going to suit in well with this has to be the Gold Crow. It sort of has the same color styles, and the crowbars have just been some of the best items of all time. We had an original crowbar back during Chapter 1 Season 5. You could unlock this for free, but obviously if you guys weren't playing back then, you've just never had the opportunity to buy it. If you guys do want a skin to pair in perfectly with the Gold Crow, then the Mul Masters might be the best option. These are quite expensive though, coming in at 1,500 V-Bucks, and again, you do have to buy each individual skin for these. It isn't one skin with a bunch of different styles, which is the downside to it. I mean, it would be so much better if this was one skin with 8 different edit styles, but unfortunately that just hasn't been the case. These have also been in the game since Chapter 1 Season 2, so I do understand completely people wanting to spend their V-Bucks on different items, and a lot of people have actually been starting to buy the studded axe pickaxe. This is going to set you back 800 V-Bucks, so it is a lot cheaper than the Mul Masters, and this also is one of the most tryhard pickaxes we are ever going to see. What is so different about this is that this actually has a competitive advantage. It is quieter than every other pickaxe we have ever seen in Fortnite. Even though a lot of people say this isn't really true, I feel like it definitely is true. I mean, it is so quiet, it is almost crazy. That is why we see so many pros and streamers using it, because they feel like it grants a competitive advantage. But let me know what you guys think of this in the comments down below. Let's move on though to a little bit more of a different item, and this is IG-11. This is part of the Star Wars collab. I know we've talked about a bunch of Star Wars items in this video, but this is definitely one of the more unique ones, because this is a male skin that has actually been tryhard over the last few weeks. I never expected this to be added to the game. It isn't really one of the big name Star Wars characters. It isn't really that popular or loved by every fan around the world like some of the other Star Wars skins like Darth Vader and Kylo Ren, but I feel like this has just been so well done. The skin is so well designed, and it is so small and simplistic as well that a lot of people that aren't even Star Wars fans have been using it. I know this is definitely one of the best male skins that we are going to see, and a good pickaxe to pair in with this has to be the Harley Hitter. This is part of the DC collab and is one of the best DC items of all time. You can pick it up for 800 V-Bucks, and this just has such a unique color theme to it, unlike anything we have ever seen before. I mean, it almost is crazy how popular this has been, especially for a collab pickaxe. It has been tryhard since the very first day that it was added as well, which does just make it even better. But a lot of the DC items aren't really returning to the store that often, which might be the only downside to this. Moving forward, guys, to the number 8 position, we have the Brilliant Cutters. The Brilliant Cutters are also part of this season's Battle Pass in Chapter 5, Season 4. They were originally designed for the Emma Frost skin, but I feel like not everyone has actually been using this with Emma Frost, or maybe even using this at all. They are dual-wielded pickaxes, which never really get the popularity of some of the regular design pickaxes in the game, but honestly, I feel like they deserve it. I feel like a lot of people are just preferring to use something like the Star Wand, which has been in the game for a lot longer, introduced back during Chapter 1, Season 8. These do set you back 800 V-Bucks as well, but they are known as some of the most tryhard pickaxes in the history of the game, and are definitely an item that only sweats use. We have also seen a bunch of people using the Star Wand with something like Shuri, which was the Tier 100 skin during Chapter 5, Season 4. Shuri is definitely one of the coolest Tier 100 skins we have seen in a really long time. Not everyone is going to have this unlocked yet because it is a massive grind to get there, but I feel like if you are like me and have either bought your way through the Battle Pass or just unlocked it through grinding out this season, then you'll know how good this actually is. It is one of the coolest skins we've seen in a long time. There are so many different styles for this as well, so it is definitely one of the more unique skins that we have, and I cannot wait to see how popular this becomes in the future. I feel like there are some other better collab skins that we have in the game though, and one of them has to be Catwoman. I mean, we had Catwoman 0 in the game for a really long time, but the comic book Catwoman skin is probably one of the better ones. I'm sort of surprised this has become so tried in Fortnite just because hardly anyone was able to buy this. It hasn't featured in the store for such a long time. I mean, I've been waiting for this to be added back in the longest time, and unfortunately I never bought it when it was in the store back during Chapter 1, Chapter 2, and Chapter 3. I only managed to buy Catwoman 0, which isn't really the skin that a lot of tryhard players have been using. So if you are lucky enough to own the original comic book Catwoman skin, then that is definitely the one that you guys want to be using. One back bling though that probably won't pair in perfectly with this has to be Grogu or Baby Yoda. Yes guys, this was also added to the game with the latest Star Wars wave that we had. I feel like this has been one of the coolest back blings of all time, but again, these never really end up being too popular. I mean, I am a huge Star Wars fan, so I was always going to love this, but if you guys haven't really watched Star Wars before, then you probably don't want to use a back bling at all, and instead want to use something like Doom. This is the secret skin during this season's Battle Pass, even though it isn't really a secret because Doom is the face of this season, and it was announced that he was in the Battle Pass pretty much before the season even began. We did have to wait a few weeks for the challenges to come out in order to get this skin though. Now that it is here, it is so much better than the original, and I cannot wait to see this in the future. I mean, we have so many amazing styles for this as well, and it looks like we might even get some more as well. But the best skin that you guys can buy this season has to be the superhero skins. You can pick these up for 1,800 V-Bucks. They are definitely some of the most tryhard skins we're ever going to see, and even though they were introduced back during the last Marvel season in Chapter 2, Season 4, they are still very tryhard today in Chapter 5, Season 4. which honestly is kind of crazy. Unfortunately though, this wasn't good enough to come in at the number 1 position, and that is because the best item that Sweats are using today is going to be the Axe of Champions 2.0. Yes guys, this is no longer the most exclusive tryhard item in the world. This is now an item that you guys can buy in the item shop. Fortnite even hosted some tournaments as well where you could actually win this pickaxe for free by winning that tournament. But if you were like me and are just a little bit of a noob, then you can always buy this in the item shop instead. If you guys are going to be buying it, make sure to use code KYROYT. I feel like this is one of the best pickaxes you guys will be able to use in the future just because of how iconic it is. But there you go, that is my video for the 42 items that only Sweats use. Make sure to let me know which one is your favorite in the comments down below, and I'll see you all next time.